Hello everyone, myself Samprita Kulkarni from Sri Venkateshwara College of Engineering. Today we are going to learn operating system for Mac OS X. Here are the contents to be covered. What is an operating system? Introduction to operating system Mac OS X, how the Mac OS X will work, advantages of Mac OS and disadvantages of Mac OS X.
An operating system. An operating system is a program that acts as the interface between the computer user and the computer hardware and controls the execution of the programs. We have to understand that operating system is a set of programs. It means operating system is a software of the computer and part of the computer, and it controls the hardware of the computer, and it provides an environment to interact between computer user and the computer. Yeah. Here, sample block diagram of operating system. These are the users, and it is the operating system, and it is the hardware. Hardware includes CPU, RAM, IO devices, etc. And his user. It acts as the interface between user and hardware. Operating system Mac OS X. Mac OS X is the line of Apple operating systems included in every modern Macintosh computer we called as Mac computers. It is the successor to the classic Mac OS 9. In March 2001, Apple released the first Mac OS X operating system to hit the market, and it is called as Mac OS X 10.0 Cheetah. That Mac OS X operating systems are based on the Unix.
How the Mac OS X will work. The heart of the Mac OS X is the XNU kernel. The kernel refers to the part of an operating system and that loads first. Means when you switch on the computer or the laptop, then the part of the OS called the kernel which loads first to the main memory called RAM. It controls and monitors the hardware resources like memory, CPU processor allocation, and disk drives. The XNU kernel inherits code from an old computer architecture system called Mac. Mac is the product of Carnegie Mellon University and has been around since the 1980s. The code is responsible for some basic functions within the Mac computer, including virtual memory management and multitasking. The code also gives the macOS as the authority to reduce the CPU processing speed should it begin to overheat. Part of kernel is input-output kit. It relies on specialized limited version of C++ programming language to control device drivers. Device drivers are what allow external devices to interact with your computer. For example, your printer. You may require a device driver on your computer so that you can print from your machine, handling all the requests and information moving from your computer to other devices and vice versa is demanding the job of the input-output kit. The input-output kit enables a Mac computer to handle several devices over different technologies at the same time. That's why you can connect devices to Mac or using USB, FireWire, and Thunderbolt cables simultaneously. And the third part of the XNU kernel is your computer's security guard and bouncer, based on the Berkeley software distribution, and it is abbreviated from BSD. This BSD derivative for Unix, this part of the kernel is charged of maintaining system securities and permissions. When you log in into a Mac computer, the BSD determines your level of access. An administrator would have nearly free reign and could download or delete programs and other data. Other user level might not have such liberal permissions. This lets the administrator define which processes a normal user can or can't access. The BSD element of the XNU kernel also helps synchronize processes in the Mac computer. So, part of Mac OS X are the core services layer and application services layer, together with the kernel and hardware. These layers form what a computer engineer call as stack. A stack is just a way to conceptualize the relationship of various layers of computer's hardware and software. At the bottom of the stack, you will find the hardware and firmware. The next level up is this OS kernel. After that, you will find the core services and then the application services layer. The application themselves are at the top of the stack. Services component of Mac OS X consists of multiple frameworks that allow the computer to the process tasks like text searches in various languages and system APIs. The application services layer is the basic graphic user interface, which is abbreviated from GUI systems. This is the layer, and the typical user will see its work creates the graphic environments. The application services layers also acts as a communication channel between various applications, allowing them to interact. Advantages of macOS. First one, fewer virus attacks. As macOS is the second most used operating system and has less number of active users, so it has fewer virus attacks also. The other reason of virus safety is its Unix relationship, which is more secure than Windows OS or other operating systems. And the second one is good customer support. Mac OS users get good support or good response from the support team as compared to the other operating systems. Apple has skilled engineers which helps the user in fixing the issues in their hardware and software, performance and long life. As Apple makes both hardware and software, so its hardware communication is very efficient and it improves the performance. The operating system and hardware work great. Apple computer has a longer life than other computers. The battery timing of Mac OS or Mac laptops is also longer. Similar to GUI, for all the products, macOS has same graphical user interface, which is GUI, as found in the Apple products like iPhone and tablets. Users feel comfortable in using macOS if they shifted from other Apple products. And fourth one is default apps. If you install Windows, then it comes with the pre-installed apps which slow down your computer. Examples, OneDrive slow your computer, but this is not a case with the macOS. It comes with powerful apps which don't affect performance of your system. Some of the pre-installed apps of macOS are iPhoto and iMovie, and other is support NTFS and FAT. macOS support with the file system formats including both NTFS and FAT. Can run Windows. You can run Windows operating system if you have Mac OS installed by using Boot Camp or parallel software. Disadvantages of Mac OS. First one is expensive. The minimum cost of a Mac PC is higher than $1,000. You can get good Windows PC at $1,000 with more hardware specifications. And second one is fewer games and software. Most game developers prefer to make games for the Windows OS because they have more percentage of users. Mac OS Mac users have fewer games available. Also, Mac computers have low graphics capability to run high graphics games. There is some software which is available for the Windows and not available for the Mac OS users. Example, Adobe Premiere Pro, etc. Less hardware used. This is also a disadvantage. The new version of Mac OS computers supports less USB ports, and they also not shipped with the CD and DVD reader. No hardware customization. If you buy any Mac computer or Mac laptop, then you cannot change its hardware parts like processor, graphics cards, etc. For some Mac computers, you can change hardware and RAM, but it is not possible to all the Mac computers. It is also not possible to change other hardware accessories like internal computer parts, and the only choice you have is to buy new computer. On every major release of your operating system, you have to change your computer, else 50% of operating system features will not work. And other disadvantages of macOS is Windows cannot read the macOS file system. macOS can read NTFS and FAT Windows format, but Windows cannot read the macOS file system. You need to install third-party op software in Windows to do so. If you want to read Mac OS file in Windows, you have to install third-party applications. Some of other software like Footnotes has compatibility issues while moving files from Mac OS to Windows. Thank you.